Welcome, everyone, to the Real Whovians cast, episode 609. I am your host, Matrix Lord 212, and I'm with Albert. What's up, Albert?
What's up, people?
What's up, David?
What up, guys?
Welcome to the Real Whovians.
Thank you.
What's up, James?
Hey, bud, what's up?
What's up, Jacob?
Hey guys.
Okay, guys, so I've been out of the loop because I've been sick. Excuse me. I'm looking like the master here. I apologize. By tomorrow, I should be regenerated and fine. We do have some news to talk about, but before we do that, just like tradition, I always have to welcome a brand new member to the show and focus the episode on him. So, change of plans. Welcome, David. How are you?
Fine, how are you?
All right. So, David, how long have you been watching Doctor Who?
I only got into it recently, but my first encounter with Doctor Who was the two-parter, The Age of Steel, and Rise of the Cyberman and The Age of Steel with David Tennant, and instantly I fell in love with both his Doctor and the Cybermen in general. They became my favorite monster, and after that, my family got me all 3 seasons of Tennant's run at the Doctor. I even have Eccleston's run, but to this day, Tennant remains my favorite Doctor.
Mine too. Dad and him and Tom Baker from back in the day. What's up, Daniel? How are you, sir? How are you, Daniel?
Hello.
All right.
Sorry I couldn't come in until now. It's just that there was a storm and I couldn't get in until now.
It's raining here. I don't know if it's going to be a storm, but yeah, the weather's starting to act up here. We got our new member, David. Welcome him, Daniel.
Hey, David. Nice to see you.
Hey!
All right, so David, what did you think of Matt Smith's time? Did you watch any of Matt Smith's episodes? Did you watch them all?
Yeah, I think Season 5 definitely was a rough point, and to be honest, I think even if everything went out as perfect, like pitch perfect the way they wanted it to, I think it was still going to be a troubled season, mainly because everyone had just gotten off of David Tennant, who, like, pretty much his run
Hold on, David. I'm sorry. Could everybody else mute but me and David for now?
Yeah.
Just because I don't want to get the background noise of the Skype calls and stuff. So we want to respect our new member, okay? All right. Very good. All right, David, you're in the spotlight. Go ahead.
All right. I think, coming off of David Tennant had left some pretty big shoes, and while people did think Matt Smith was fully capable of doing it, there were just some episodes that really didn't work in Season 5. Season 6, I think, was one of the best for Matt Smith in general. I thought the introduction of the Silence was very good. I loved the Silence as far as for Matt Smith monsters. They were actually some of my favorites.
Very good. Now, what did you think of, like, Series 7 with Matt Smith?
Series 7, I kind of am on the fence about. It was kind of hit or miss, Series 7, mainly because why I say hit or miss was the introduction of Jim Coleman as Clara. I mean, sometimes her character was good, but in times, if you look at Nightmare and Silver, her character was just a complete 180 from what she was normally to. You don't expect Clara to be someone to take charge in that kind of an instance, to take command of a group of soldiers to fight Cybermen. It was still a good Cyberman episode. I liked it, but as far as consistency with the character, I just didn't think it worked that well. That's just me.
Right. Hello, Chris. Steampunk Star Raising. How are you?
I'm okay.
All right, we're live. We are in the Real Whovians cast, episode 609.
Okay, cool. Excuse me. Cool.
AmberStreet.com.
Yep.
By the way. All right, so Chris, I'm sorry, Steampunk, we are talking to David. He's our new member for the Real Whovians.
Okay, welcome. Hello.
Hello?
All right. So David, tell me, from now you've seen the 9th, 10th, 11th Doctors, right? What about Peter Capaldi?
I will admit, I haven't seen much of Capaldi's run. I've seen the first couple of episodes, but I haven't been able to keep track of that, usually because, sadly, like, more shows have come in that I've been more attuned to, like The Flash and Arrow, which were both fantastic this year.
Right.
And
Yes.
Capaldi definitely. I think it was very different. It was very off-putting when I saw the first episode. I think it was, what was it, Deep Breath? Was that the first episode of season 12? I think that was it.
Yeah, first
Yeah.
episode. First episode of Series 8. Deep Breath.
Series 8, sorry. Season 12 on 12th Doctor, I'm sorry. But
That's okay.
it was different. And I think that's just so off-putting because they were trying to make a more serious tone. And I think after being used to this lighter tone for the past, what is it, 6 seasons, it felt really, really weird, that sudden transition into it.
Right.
Now,
Okay.
that's not to say that a darker take on the Doctor wouldn't work. I think it did work for what I saw with Capaldi, and I think in Series 9, when they fix all the kinks that happen with Series 8, you can definitely have a really, really good Doctor.
Yeah, I think by far Series 9 is going to be beyond belief better than Series 8. I think that they did work out the kinks. They saw what fans like and don't like. Osgood's back, so that's a big plus. Missy's back, that's good. And we got Maisie Williams, which I can't wait to see her episode. So if you're a Game of Thrones fan, Arya Stark, which I just got caught up with Game of Thrones yesterday, but we'll be talking about that on another show. Now, David, I am going to ask you something I usually don't ask on the Real Whovians, but it relates to the Everything show. You mentioned you watched Arrow, you watched Flash. What other shows do you watch, and would you like to be a part of the Everything show?
I would love to be a part of the Everything show. I am very much. I do have a YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is very much in the vein of superheroes and the respective media. I love everything about it. I watch Arrow. I watch The Flash. I will be watching the spin-off show Legends of Tomorrow when it comes out. I have just caught up with The Walking Dead, and now that Morgan's back, you can bet your bottom dollar I will be watching The Walking Dead again.
Right. Now I'm going to stop talking because sometimes I'm told I talk way too much, which I agree with, and I'm going to hand it off to James. And James, ask him whatever questions you like, because you were here from the beginning. So, about Doctor Who.
Okay, so like me and Joe, we both like David Tennant. I think, bottom down, that David Tennant was the best Doctor of Doctor Who since I've been watching. I've been watching since the 4th Doctor.
Yeah.
So what you think?
David Tennant's run?
Oh yeah.
What's your highlights of David Tennant's? Like, what do you like about his run?
Oh my gosh. Talk about a guy who can balance both being absolutely dead serious and being funny. And doing it so well. I mean, here's my one big problem with Matt Smith, and I am bringing this over to David Tennant, but when you try to get Matt Smith angry, it didn't really feel like he was getting angry. When you saw David Tennant getting angry, you believe that this was a man you did not want to cross. That this was a guy who has seen the horrors of the Time War. This was a guy who probably has not come out of that conflict, like, unscathed. He's come across as a very troubled individual. And we even saw that in, what was it, Day of the Doctor, when he counted how many children died on Gallifrey that day. You could tell by looking into his eyes that he that if you asked him, he probably knew the names of every single one of them.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. He can accurately portray the pain of a man who has suffered great loss, but when he has fun, by God, it is so awesome to watch him when he is like acting like a lunatic having fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That balance, I think, really worked out in David Tennant's favor.
Okay. Chris, I was Steampunk. You want to ask him any questions about Doctor Who?
How long do you think Peter Capaldi is going to run with Doctor Who? How many seasons do you think he'll last?
I think, now this is just a theory that I've had with a couple of friends, we think Peter Capaldi is a transitional doctor, so if he might only go for another 2-3 series before they find someone who can take over long term, who can be like a Tom Baker and take over for quite a few series, because I think you need someone who can last a lot more than 3 seasons. And as much as good as Peter Capaldi is, I don't think he strikes everyone as a long-term doctor.
Okay.
That's just what I think. But
now, Jacob, you want to ask him any questions? Jacob?
Okay. David, what is your best monster or villain in Doctor Who?
well, I think it would be my first encounter. It was the Cybermen, definitely. I mean, the Daleks are fun, and the Daleks episodes are really good. But I always love the Cybermen episodes because I love robots. They're fun. And,
Right.
yeah.
For me,
Like
I
when
really
they
like
have,
the Daleks. The Daleks are better. I like the Daleks and kind of the Cybermen medium for the Cybermen.
Yeah, I mean, some of the episodes that featured the Daleks were actually quite good. I think for an old Who, my favorite old episode of Doctor Who, one of the few I've watched, though, was Genesis of the Daleks. Easily one of the best Dalek episodes in the history of Doctor Who, and
That was
the first, I think, one of the best appearances of Davros. Davros was a very cool villain. I wasn't introduced to him until season 4 of New Who, and when I saw him, I'm like, this is a guy who has a long history with the Doctor, so I wanted to try and find episodes with the Doctor and Davros, and when I saw Genesis of the Daleks and how highly it was recommended, I watched it, and it was great.
Nice.
It really was.
Yep. And speaking
now,
of
Dan,
Davros, go ahead.
no, again.
Speaking of Davros, when he hinted to be in series 10 or something, because I looked into like your Soul Doctor or something, you heard that monologue, never seen him yet.
Series 9, supposedly. Davros. The series now, I mean, but we haven't seen any pictures or anything. We don't really know.
Well, there's no rumors I saw that Davros will be coming back to see him, and to be honest, I don't think he's dead. He could, with everyone in Doctor Who, he'll come back.
I think he emergency temporal shifted out of there. Like the other, like the Dalek. If first of all, if a Dalek, a regular Dalek, could emergency temporal shift, time travel, then I'm sure the creator of the Daleks has a little more capabilities in his, his disposal to escape compared to a regular Dalek. So I think he time traveled out of there, and he'll pop up again. Absolutely.
Davros strikes me as a guy who has a backup plan for his backup plan for his backup plan. I mean, I think he goes into a situation and he's always planning in his mind, unlikely event that he'll fail.
Right. All right, Daniel.
Yeah.
You want to ask him a question?
What companion do you want to see return from the old series?
Or it could be the new series. Not necessarily if you didn't see too many old series.
I mean, for old series, I did like Sarah Jane Smith, though unfortunately, God rest her soul, she can't come back. She was amazing. For new series now, a lot of people disagree with this. I want to see Martha come back.
I want Martha back too, actually. Yeah.
I felt she was the companion that did the most, and a lot of people who tell me she is the most useless compared to Rose, I asked them the one simple question, you've seen the Family of Blood, right? The Family of Blood episode. And they go, yeah. I said, put Rose in Martha's position, and you can tell me with a straight face and 100% that she could get every single thing right.
No.
No. She messed up all the time. Martha Martha, I think, had a strength about her character that a lot of other companions didn't. And even look at how she left. She left of her own accord, but she felt that traveling with the dark would be a danger to her as well as the people she loved. So she might not have wanted to leave, but she recognized that that was the best thing for her.
Mhm.
Yeah. And it
See,
married me.
originally, it was rumored that to get fans to accept Matt Smith as a doctor, they were going to have her appear with him when he regenerated and try to ease him in the first couple episodes, and then they scrapped that. And then later on, they decided, hey, let's bring River Song back by episode 4, you know. But originally, they had an idea to have Martha be part of that whole thing when David Tennant regenerated into Matt Smith. Again, that was scrapped. So I always felt that we would see her again because she had close ties to Torchwood, as well as Unit, as well as Mickey. So I figured we were bound to bump into her.
I'm going to say something.
One thing that confused me is that when David Tennant was saying his goodbyes, it was highly, I think it was pretty much said that Mickey and Martha were a couple. That was probably the most confusing thing that I've ever seen, because when at any point in the series, when they've seen each other, have they ever had a moment where there was some chemistry between the two? And there really wasn't. And it wasn't really a bad moment for me. It was just really confusing.
Well, it stems from the ending of Journey's End, where he runs and catches up with Captain Jack and Martha, and then, boom, you know, stuff takes off.
I've got to ask something, by the way. Okay, did you know that Adipose episode with the fat creatures, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know that Alex Kingston, the actress of River Song, was actually going to be in that episode as that lady who actually died at the end.
Oh, yeah?
Yep, she was actually going to be that lady in charge of all the adipose.
Oh, that
yeah, she actually said at the convention that I went to, Alex Kingston, she actually was like,
Thank God she wasn't.
Yeah. And she was like, I'm glad I was like River Song and everything, because like, you know, that wouldn't have worked out for me and stuff.
Right.
Yeah. So I was like, wow.
All right, we're going to have
a funny story. Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, okay.
I actually have the funniest story. So when my family gave me Doctor Who, they didn't watch Doctor Who, and I have an older sister. I'm 21, she's like 28. And she came in right as we were watching Series 4, and she's turn on an episode. So I showed her Forest of the Dead and like Silence in the Library, I think.
Yeah, sounds like Forest of the Dead, yes.
Yeah, she couldn't sleep that night. I got very angry glares the morning after.
Vashta Narada, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Who turned off the light?
Amazing episode.
Yes. All right, so we still have Albert that wants to ask you a question.
All right.
Okay, David. What is your favorite one of David Tennant's seasons?
3, definitely. Every episode felt like it needed to be there. Every episode tied into the reveal of the Master being alive, and just when like these tidbits that don't really make sense in earlier episodes, when you get to them actually coming and the Master is there, everything falls into place. Everything makes sense, and you go, oh my gosh, how could I have been so stupid? The signs were right there.
Yeah, and it was Russell T. Davis' run as the showrunner back then too.
Yeah. I like that they also touched into that insanity a lot more of the Master when Tennant was the Doctor, definitely in Series 3 and also in The End of Time. How crazy he was. Like, I mean, he was an intelligent madman, but in the recent versions of the Master, we've seen he is much more insane than we originally thought.
Right. I love the Master. He's awesome. Or she's awesome. Whatever.
Oh yeah, the mistress.
Yeah.
That
All right,
reveal, though.
That was amazing. Yes, I agree. That was one of my favorite things until we got to Death in Heaven, and that was not my favorite thing. But anyway. All right, another round of questions, and we go to Steampunk Star Raisin. Could you unmute? Yeah, I muted you only because of the sound. Okay, there you go. I got it.
There's a lot of loud music in Starbucks here.
What other question would you like to ask, David?
What actor do you think would make a good new Doctor? I have an idea for a new actor.
A new choice, a new Doctor. Who would you choose? That's a good
It's
question.
probably so unoriginal, and you guys probably already saw it coming. I think Benedict Cumberbatch. I really think he could do a really good analytical approach to the Doctor.
Yeah, Benedict Cumberbatch is going to be very busy with Doctor Strange.
Yeah, he's already playing Doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they be calling him Sherlock.
Yeah, he
would never do that because he said he's going to be doing Sherlock like forever. Even when they're older, they're going to do Sherlock. They said so.
I actually wanted Doctor Who and Sherlock crossover.
Yeah.
That would be awesome, but I don't know if they would do that though.
They actually filmed Matt Smith fighting Moriarty in some type of benefit play that had other people from different shows on there, like Q from James Bond and I think Judi Dench, a whole bunch of different people. And it was just for like a charity event, and they had all dialogue written and everything. And I don't know anybody that filmed it. I would love to see that, but
They actually raised money for autism, didn't they?
they raised money for something. I'm not sure if it was autism. Yeah.
Well, gotta go, guys. Work
All
time.
right.
Adios.
Take care, James.
Take care, guys. Nice to meet you.
You know who I think would make a good actor for new Doctor?
Tell us.
Nicole Kidman. You know, if the Doctor were to regenerate as a woman, and she's a weathered beauty, and she has an elastic face, and she looks like she already regenerated.
Oh my God! Well, it's called plastic surgery.
Now we'll get Tara Reid then.
Yeah.
You know who I think would make a good
I
Doctor?
love Nicole Kidman, though. By the way,
I'm just teasing. I'm just being silly. I'm just being a smartass.
Get out of it.
I think Ben Whishaw would be a good Doctor. He was rumored for the 12th Doctor back in 2013.
Okay.
Or Idris Elba might go to the Black Doctor.
Yeah.
He's becoming James Bond, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Or he might be.
Who knows?
Does anybody know of any actors who auditioned to be the Doctor but didn't get it?
We had a lot of discussions on here about who was going to be the 12th Doctor, and there was a lot of actors that we talked about on the show over the years that was in talks to play the 12th Doctor. I don't even remember. I know there was this one guy, was it Ben Davis or something like that? He was close to being chosen as the 12th Doctor. That didn't happen. There was a whole bunch.
My friend
I wonder if there's anybody
auditioned for the 12th Doctor.
What's that?
My friend's friend actually auditioned to be the 12th Doctor, but it didn't work out.
Go ahead, Steve. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I was just saying, I wonder if it was like anybody that didn't used to be famous but is now famous that had auditioned. That's just like a lot of people don't realize, like in Star Wars, like Kurt Russell almost became Han Solo. Could you imagine that?
Oh, wow.
What's that? Really?
Yeah, Kurt Russell came close to being Han Solo. He was like first one.
Well, he's certainly aged a lot better than Harrison Ford has.
Yeah.
Okay. What else? Anybody? Daniel, you want to ask David anything?
No, I got no more questions.
All right.
Let's
So
get a prequel.
now, what is your favorite season cliffhanger finale? You know, what is your favorite?
Oh. The favorite cliffhanger? I don't know. If we're going for comedy, it would be Series 3 finale when the Titanic crashed into the TARDIS. I thought that reaction alone was quite funny.
Right.
And I'm not sure, though. I think it would have to be the transition from um, David Tennant when he regenerated into Matt Smith. I mean, talk about like moment that last 5 minutes that you needed to get absolutely right. You couldn't make a single mistake in the editing, the filming, or any of that. You needed to make sure you make these people go from crying with sadness to crying with laughter. And the first impressions are important when it comes to Doctor Who. And Matt Smith is a very good first impression.
I say everybody knows my favorite is Utopia, Sound the Drums, Last of the Time Lords. Three-parter, because that was just amazing to bring the Master into it. Yes, the four
Let's
drums.
hope they do that again.
Yes, I'm hoping that Stephen Moffat gets to do a three-parter. I really am. But
yeah, I think a lot of the stories, though, I don't know if they're trying to go for 3 parts. Like most of the time, if they stretch a story, it goes into 2 parts. Even in some stories where it would benefit going into 3 parts.
we may actually get a three-parter this year. See, now they're just talking about now another two-parter, and every time we hear something, it's two-parter, two-parter, two-parter. I mean, the only single part is Mark Gatiss, but every other episode's been two-parters. Now, again, if they, I'm not sure if I think we're getting the same episode count as last year, which is 12 episodes plus a Christmas special, which is 13. Still 1 episode shy. It used to be 13 episodes plus a Christmas special, 14 episodes in total. If we were to get that episode back, you know, possibly we could have a 3-parter. But again, everything's up in the air. It's still a possibility. They've also said that they may do the 2 episodes and then lead into the Christmas special. That was a big rumor. So again, no confirmation on the 3-parter, although it's been like heavily rumored. So we'll see what happens. There's been a lot of heavily rumored things that never came to pass anyway. So we just gotta wait and see. So all right, that's gonna be it for this episode. I wanted to focus on our new member of the Real Whovians, David. There is Doctor Who news, which we will come back and do another cast. I think the next, we'll take a 5-minute break. We will come back with the Everything Show because there's a lot of crazy news going on out there. And I got to say something also important. So thank you. Welcome aboard, David.
Yay.
Hey, Joe.
Yeah, woo.
Something cool. There's something cool I found online. I'm going to talk about it.
All right, don't talk right now. All right. That's it, guys. Take care. Bye for now.